I want to, I've muted her, so I don't know what the latest on Pearl is, but Tree, that's why I love Tree, is she always keeps up on our girl Pearl. Um, Give us the latest, Tree.
Well, Pearl has been working on this documentary about divorce as if no one cares about this documentary. It's not going to be profitable. It's not going to be on demand. Like no one cares about uh divorce from a man point of view. So she wants to paint this picture of men being a victim of divorce when women are the ones who over 70% of women initiate it, but also she wants to paint it as all these men want custody of their kids, but only less than 2%, depending upon the state, want custody of their kids because a lot of these men want to live a bachelor life as a father, you know what I'm saying?
They can
So
do that.
she wants to paint this like nobody's buying it. And so she got demonetized and she kept talking about I got this documentary. She's been talking about it for 2 years. And she tried to get that lawyer. I forget his name. They call him the red pill lawyer. When she was invited onto the Daily Wire, she tried to sneak him in through Rolo, and Rolo managed to stop that, so she couldn't have an expert on her on behalf. Anyway, so she stopped talking about it, and she kept because before then she kept talking about we're working on it and we're gonna drop it real soon. So she was supposed to release the documentary in the fall, and then she puts up a tweet, and thank God that Haley tagged me in it, saying that she wants to because she got demonetized. Mind you, her daddy is a multi-millionaire. So
Hey, wait a minute.
this woman comes from mega money, and she wants her simps to fund her documentary that she said it was done. She said it was supposed to be released this fall, and it didn't happen.
I have to say thank you so much for keeping up with Mr. Krabs' daughter, for Christ's sake, because I haven't been. She was so infuriating to me. I don't know even if I muted her or not, or maybe she blocked me or something. But this brings warmth to my heart that
Keanu, you kept posting that clip. You posted it too many times. The you posted it too many times. She had to block you.
I kept just putting that fucking thing of her singing on every single thing she did, and she said, "Last chance, or I'm going to block you." And I went, "All right, Clam." Jesus
She fell off big time. She really fell, and I haven't been talking about her as often because she's boring right now. Ever since she came back to America,
as boring as she looks.
Yeah. There's nothing about her. So now I said the worst thing she could have done was put this GoFundMe up, because now I'm going to clown her every week when she doesn't reach her $100,000 goal that she would never reach. Okay. She's supposed to have all these simps. And if you don't make a lot of money in the beginning of your GoFundMe, it's going to stall out.
Right. That's when all the momentum is the
beginning. Right. And with her and her so-called her publicity, her being the top female red pillar, you would expect she should at least got to 10,000 already. She only made like 1,600. That's pitiful.
So here's her post. Hey guys, due to demonetization, we are looking to raise $100K to fund our divorce documentary. This will cover editor costs and potentially getting some high-profile guests. I always appreciate your support. Donate if you can. Let's make an awesome documentary. I have a lot of the footage laid out of the challenge.
Yeah, she's drunk at the last. Don't try to decipher that last paragraph. She was drunk.
Has been not having a full-time editor dedicated to this due to not being monetized for a year. Thanks again, guys. And then let's go to the actual GoFundMe here. And you know what, guys? If you want to support Pearl, Go for
Don't.
it. Yeah.
I kind of want to fund this because
Wow.
I want to see how ridiculous this documentary is.
$1,862 raised.
Oh, she got to
raised
1,800 now.
out of 100K. That's a lot of money. 100K.
This woman is a menace to society, okay, and the sea, and everywhere. This is
The
the
thing
worst
about it is
human
her
being
father
ever.
and mother are multi-millionaires. This
Guess
woman
what?
has
Yeah,
failed
if they liked
upward.
her, then they'd probably give her the money for her silly, stupid documentary about divorce.
We all know her mom doesn't like her.
Yeah, her mom is tired of her shit. And I think what happened is that, you know, her mom is the alpha in the relationship. And so she basically, you know, went to her husband and said, okay, cut her off. Stop funding her bullshit. Okay. Because she keeps failing. And she's going to do this shit on her own. We've been paying for her condos. We've been paying for all of her travels. We've been paying for her African boyfriend. Okay. We've been
blessings.
We've been paying for all of this and we're not getting anything from it. So she's going to learn to do this shit on her own.
I don't care if she's ugly and her family hates her, but she is the worst thing to happen to women in the past 20 years. And I'm just going to say it. It's just really so I'm glad you're banned from everything. And I'm so sorry that you only raised $1,862 for your divorce documentary.
That's going to be a nothing burger.
This is the description. JustPearlyThings has always been about one thing, bringing light to men's issues. Now we're bringing you a special documentary on divorce, a topic that affects millions of lives, but often gets swept under the rug. I don't think that's true. I feel like that's anything. It's all we talk about. The documentary will not only explore the personal and emotional toll of divorce, it will also shed light on critical men's issues like divorce, rape, paternity fraud, and parental alienation, and the often ignored struggles that men face in family courts. However, we're facing a huge challenge. Okay, demonetized. I don't know. I think a lot of times it's women picking the wrong men and being very stupid and not knowing how they're.
This is not even a major man issue. This is why this bitch is a fucking fraud. If she really gave a shit about men, she would concentrate on the high suicide rate that keeps increasing with men. Okay? She would talk about the homelessness of men. She doesn't give a fuck about men because if you really would, you would find out the major thing that affects men. And the number one thing is the high suicide rate. And then of course you got the whole thing going on with the alienation, and then the homelessness. Those are the things that really affect men the most than divorce situations. You know what I'm saying?
That's a really good point.
Oh God, divorce. Oh, goddamn, Lamb. Like, really?
She'll say, oh, I care about men's issues, but really, I think the goal here is to shame women and blame women.
It is all of it. That's all it is. This is why, you see how like fired up I am, and I never get like this, except for when I see Clam's hideous face because she's such an evil bitch. I have no problem with like the fact that she's an ugly, horrible, like hideous woman. I have a problem with she is a detriment to women in society. Right. I'm glad she's not fucking like having any success in her little grift off of like making I don't know, frat bros happy.
100K is a lot to ask.
That's ridiculous to ask. And what kind of editor? She said she had the documentary finished. She just have to get some special guests to it. So what is this $100,000 stuff for? But then again, this is the thing about the red pill. Okay. They are the cash cows and everybody takes advantage of them. So you have these content creators like Fresh and Fit, the whatever podcast. They sit up here and say, don't deal with these 304s and don't sit up here and lead with your wallet. But then they tell these guys to go ahead and make all this money so that you can get a Lamborghini or Ferrari so you could attract women who got the BBLs and the big old titties and the small waistline and the lip injections and all that other shit who going to want you for your wallet. And then they show OF girls. Shout out to the OF girls. You know I love you, But let's be clear. They bring you on there to tempt these guys so they can basically attack you verbally. And then these guys hate subscribe you. When I say hate subscribe, they pay to see you naked. They pay to see them have sex. You know what I'm saying? And it's like this wrestling. I learned this from Jasmine Jafar of how these guys, you know, even though they love when the hosts attack the women that are OF fans, they can't wait to subscribe to see her naked and have sex.
Yeah. Wow.
That's very true.
It is.
So they're taking advantage of them financially. And it's like, so when do you actually, because if you really want these men to have better women, why not have those women that you want them to be attracted to, have them as guests? No, they have the women. So the women show the T and the A and basically start breathing sexy like Marilyn Monroe into the mic. And then these men get boing, and then all of a sudden they just think with their head down there instead of the head up here. And it's pretty vicious if they really think about it. They want to sit up here and make us the enemy, but it's like the men are the worst that are the so-called leaders, along with Pearl, who every time Pearl wants to talk about I deem this inappropriate, she shows a half-naked woman.
Right. It's true. And that's, I mean, how long has that been going on? It's like, it's the Madonna complex. Like, I want my wife. I want somebody I can bring home to mom, which Pearl is neither of the sort. She's just an evil, horrible bitch. Like, she's not even that, but she's like, well, men deserve this and they deserve that. But, you know, men for the last, hundreds of years, it's like, we want to be erect to the whore or whatever. And porn exists for a reason. I'm sorry, it does. Right. But that's not appropriate. But it's, so she doesn't make any sense where that's concerned. She'll shit on the lady that has an OnlyFans maybe, and also maybe possibly a brain. And that's not appropriate for a man, but a man can, they want the, a lady in the streets, but a freak in the sheets, or a lady. It's the same thing. She's not doing anything good for women. That's what
Pearl would gain a lot of goodwill if she did launch into, like what Tree mentioned, like looking into like veterans, PTSD, do a documentary on like men, like depression crisis, like suicide rates, like
that is the major thing. She can title it The Forgotten Men.
Yeah.
Okay. Or the ignored. She could do it like that because that's is men are ignored. They are forgotten. Nobody care about them on that area. And neither does Pearl. So it's like, this is how you can always tell that she's a fraud, because the one thing that like we lost a friend of ours to suicide 2 weeks ago. So it's like, it's a big thing that has happened to all of us. We have all had, say a male friend who felt like he didn't have nothing to live for, and he just died. They killed himself because of that. So it's like, she doesn't give a shit. And then another thing too, picture a nutritionist who's also a fitness instructor. And instead of showing you healthy recipes, all they show you is ice cream, cakes, candy, and they show you, oh, you don't want this delicious velvet cake with this vanilla ice cream on it. You don't want this. You don't want this ice cream cone with all the nuts and the chocolate sprinkles on it. That's what awesome. That's what they're doing. Instead of showing you what you should be going for by having healthy recipes, they're showing you a bunch of junk food, bunch of fast food, greasy, cheesy pizza, stuff that's going to tempt you to go off your diet and eat it. This is what they do all the time on whatever podcast, Fresh and Fit, as well as Pearl.
Yeah, junk food people.
Right.
Well, I'm so glad, Tree, honestly, that you're keeping up, because it incenses me too much to even look at Mr. Krabs' daughter. Honestly, so I am really glad that you are, because I can't even.
I appreciate it.
I must have muted her because I can't stand her face or anything that she does. So I turn to you for the rest of time.
Love you guys. Thank you for the chats. Thank you for the comments. I will see you guys tomorrow. Bye. Bye. All right. Love you guys. God, I don't even want to leave. This candle smells so good. I don't want to leave. All right. Love you guys. Talk to you soon. Bye. Love you all. Join the Discord. Feet. Love you all. Wow. You guys are awesome. Bye, guys.
Bye.
Now I'm really leaving. Love you. Bye.